Hello, I am Andrea Cooley, one of the owners of Des Moines Mom, and we are excited to be here today with Dr. Joy Hanson with the Iowa Clinic. She is a pediatrician, and we are going to be talking about water safety, which is super timely, especially this week as it is hot. Kids want to be in the water. We want to be in the water to cool off, but there are definitely safety tips that we need to keep in mind. Just for all ages of kids, as parents, we want them to have fun, but we also want to be safe in the water. Just kind of diving right in, Dr. Hanson, what should parents know? What are kind of different stages that they should think about with their ages of kids around the water?
Yeah, well, first off, thanks so much, Andrea and Des Moines Moms, for having me. Our family loves the water, and so I'm super excited to talk about it. And we definitely encourage being in the water and being outside and active and having fun as a family. These are just some general information and tips just to keep in mind to help keep your family safe. Getting started. So I think the big thing is really at all ages, kids need to be supervised when going into the water. So, I talk about at well visits, if a kid is in the water, never go in without an adult or a parent, make sure we're watching them. It's hard because especially little children like toddlers are so naturally and beautifully curious, which is awesome, but that can be kind of a risk factor when it comes to water. And so really we say any body of water, whether it's like a bathtub, a mock bucket, if I mince my words, wading pool, a swimming pool, we still need to be watching children. And the good news is, drowning as the leading cause of death is preventable. And so we're just going to give you some safety tips to help take care of your family this summer.
That's great. Yeah, I know. I've been taking my kids to the pool a lot this summer, and I have three of them, and they're at various stages of, swimming abilities. And it seems like, one always has to go to the bathroom. And
Yeah.
I know it's important just to kind of set those ground rules right away. So my older two know, you just have to sit by the side of the pool. It's going to be real quick while I take your sister to the bathroom. Even though, there are lifeguards, and especially
Yeah.
my oldest is competent, but I just, I say if I'm not there, they need to be out of the water. And what can you tell us about swimming lessons? What age is that recommended for?
Yeah, so swimming lessons are great. We're fully in support of them if that's something your family's interested in. Some children can be ready at the age of 1 to start. Most children are ready for basic swimming lessons by 4. I think it helps them get comfortable in the water and learn just skills that can help them, be safe in the water. I still tell parents, even if a child has swimming lessons, it's still important. Swimming lessons are no to keep a close eye and still have that supervision. I think you brought up a great point with the lifeguards, Andrea. So, lifeguards are amazing. They do a great job surveying the pool, making sure keeping an eye in general and resuscitation. But still, I tell parents, it's important when they're at the pool to keep an eye on your own child, just because they're kind of surveying the entire pool. Another helpful tip I have is to have, if you're at a pool party or at the pool, is to have a water watcher. So basically, that is an adult that's their one job, is to watch children swimming in the pool. And so that means, no being on your phone, no being on social media, kind of just being in charge and then switching out frequently. So that can get fatiguing, but even having a 15-minute assigned person to be the water watcher, everyone knows they're the water watcher, and switching out can be a helpful safety tip.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, whether you're at a friend's pool or at a public pool, it gets busy in the water. There's lots of kids and splashing, and I know that it doesn't take long for something to happen.
Mhm.
What are, if you think that your kid has maybe swallowed water or kind of had an episode of, not swimming, what are some signs that a parent should watch for? Or, they've gotten the kid out of the water, what do they need to do now?
Yep. So, I think that's another good point is that, unfortunately, accidents in the water can happen quickly. And I think a lot of people think it would be loud, you'd hear struggle or splash, but a lot of times it's quiet. And so, just kind of being vigilant and watching children is important. And so, I think a lot of people in the news, they talk about dry drowning and there's, anxiety about that. What I tell parents is, so if it's more than kind of, you're sitting at the family dinner table, you take a sip of water and it goes down the wrong pipe, kind of more symptoms than that, usually that's worth being evaluated by a medical professional. So if, there's water goes down or there's concern about submersion, and then if there's choking afterwards, trouble breathing afterwards, it's worth a checkup.
Sure.
If there's concern that the child isn't breathing, I immediately would start CPR, call 911. And then anytime that would happen, even afterwards, if they, do fine, it's important to go to the emergency room just to be monitored.
Mhm.
And the other point is, many times there's events in the water and thankfully the majority are non-fatal, but then just to have those eyes on the child to make sure everything is going okay.
Yeah, no, I think that that's great. Hopefully, obviously, non-fatal is the goal, but
Mhm.
things do happen, and rather than just ignoring it and saying, "Oh, they just kind of choked on some water," I think it's important to know that you can just go and get them checked and evaluated, both for the child's safety and your own peace of mind.
Yep,
Um,
exactly.
Now, if I personally am not certified in CPR, and so I feel like I would maybe be hesitant to like jump in and do that.
Mhm.
Would you recommend, what tips do you have for a parent if they aren't, practiced in CPR or
Yeah.
certified?
So I think, getting the child out of the water first thing, calling 911, yelling for help because, if you're not alone, there are many people that are certified. And then not to add to a list of things for moms to do at all, but there's a lot of local places that will do classes and kind of basic life support. And so, most of the time, hopefully none of us will need that, but that could kind of just help in your confidence. But then I think just calling 911 right away. And then the medical professionals will definitely come quickly and be able to help.
Sure. That's great. Well, thank you so much for all of your tips.
Yeah.
And, like I think you said several times, Dr. Hanson, we don't want to scare people, but we just want to give them tips and information so that they can enjoy being in the water and that it is a safe and fun time for everyone.
Yep. Nope. Totally agree with all that. We want everyone to have fun and then just some safety tips to keep in mind. And that, as your doctors and pediatricians, we're always here for you. So,
Thank you so much.
yeah. Thanks so much, Andrea.
All right.